Once again, thank you for joining our webinar today. My name is Shafkat, and I'm working at the FND as a Tavis and Asta consultant. Today's topic is an introduction to Asta Powerproject BIM. So, first of all, I would like to give the general information what is actually BIM and where we use it. Well, a lot of people get confused while speaking regarding the BIM that it is a 3D model. However, actually, it's not actually the BIM, it's the process of generating and managing building data during the project lifecycle. So in this case, we can use the whole process starting from the conceptual design, from detailed design, analysis, documentation, fabrication, operation, construction, and logistics. Even for demolition works, we call it as a BIM process. Of course, the BIM uses the three-dimensional source, let's say, and it is a real-time and dynamic model. So we have a lot of applications who can create actually the 3D model, such as Revit, Tekla, or Archicad. And for us, one of the most important things is how we can exchange data in BIM in different disciplines, so such as mechanical, plumbing, architecture, structural, or other. They all create the BIM model in their softwares, and how we can share actually the data. So in this case, it's been agreed that there is the IFC file format. It stands for the Industry Foundation classes, and it was developed by the Building Smart. So what we do with this IFC file format, actually, we can upload it to Eloco BIM Cloud, the cloud server, or we can use it in our local PC or our local server. So by this way, we'll be able to share the data between the different disciplines, such as architects or construction facility managers, clients, or planners. So how we can achieve the 4D scheduling with the traditional CPM tool? So let's say we have our schedule done on Primavera P6, Microsoft project, or Asta Powerproject, and we have a conceptual design in IFC file format, which was done by the AutoCAD or Revit or MicroStation. By this way, while we use the Asta Powerproject, we are able to combine both modules. We have a schedule and a module. So you can see here, we can bring the schedule from the P6, MSP, or Asta Powerproject, and we can bring our model, which was done by the different software such as AutoCAD, Revit, as well as we can put the cost if it's required, or if your schedule is already loaded with the cost and resources, it's also possible to bring it. After you combine your schedule with the model, you can save it. Just the Powerproject allows us to save in a different file formats, not export, but save it actually. The same way we can open the Primavera MSP project on Asta Powerproject without losing any data. So what we do actually in Asta Powerproject BIM? Well, we link activities with the model in one application. So as you can see in the screen, we are able to link directly. We have several ways in order to link them. We can drag and drop objects between our model and the tasks, or we can use the template with the predefined searches. So we'll be able to automatically create our tasks which are linked to our IFC model objects. Besides that, we are able to have, for the visual impact, we can compare the planned and actual schedule in our 3D model window. We can simulate the model using dates from the timeline. So by this way, if you would like to see what is the status of our model, or what is the status of our schedule, where we are right now, or where we will be in this case, we are able to see it on our timeline. Everything I'll show on the live demonstration, so this is just a short introduction. Okay, so right now I'm going to the live demonstration. Well, for those who are new to the Asta Power project, just a short information, what is it? And this is actually the planning tool, planning software. As you can see, it has a kind of Microsoft view, we can say, which makes it more user-friendly. So what I would like to do is, first of all, I would like to create the new file. So I go to create. We have several templates. These templates, some of the templates, it will be useful for you in order to make a quicker planning. For instance, on construction template or engineering template, house template, we have already predefined the resource information, the cost information, and as well the design concepts such as the coloring, so on. So let's say I would like to create a construction template. I would like to name it as a BIM demo. So I'll just create it. We are able to give the name, the title, for whom, by whom it was done, when the project starts, and for security reasons, we can use a login and password. So once I created my initial project, say, we have here the ribbons, the tabs. There's a lot of functionalities. Most today we'll be using the BIM tab, but for those who are new, so I'd like just to give a short information. We have a project hierarchy here with the resource information, with the consumable resources, with the cost centers or the code libraries, the calendars and everything. These are coming from the already predefined template, which I used in this case. We have on the middle of the screen, you can see that we have a column-based spreadsheet. So by this way, we are able to add any column in order to display whatever information we would like to see. We have lots of various different information which we can actually display. On the right side, we are able to see that we have our Gantt chart. So our Gantt chart, we have a timeline. It can be the up to 10 timelines if we require, but it is not actually the Asta Power project webinar, and I'll go switch to the BIM. So what we do in order to simulate our project actually and to load our IFC file model. So once I go to my BIM tab, and I have a configuration here. As I mentioned on my presentation, we have two options in order where we can save, from where we can get actually this model. We have a Eleco BIM Cloud or local IFC. So in this case, I'll be using the local IFC. I don't want to use it right now, Eleco BIM Cloud, but if required, we can use it, no problem. I'm selecting my IFC format file. Okay, now I have entered my IFC file. However, I have to select it over here. So once I select my IFC project, say model, Asta Powerproject is loading 3D model to our schedule. Okay, what we can see here, we have the IFC model format. Of course, it would be better if I'll drag it and make it more visible. All right, so what we have here, we have our IFC model. It's a house standard, say the demo house. All the objects are selected. We can select all of them, no problem. What we can do to our IFC format, IFC model, is we cannot actually do a lot of that. First of all, what we can do is we can change the color of it. For instance, if you would like, I would like to change the site color. So what I will do here, I'll go and I search for my entity. This entity information is coming from the model. In this case, I would like to change, and I'd like to put some grass, for instance, on my site. So we can add the colors if you would like. Okay, besides that, we are able to split the object, but to the splitting object I will come a bit later on. So on our 3D viewer tab, are also available to get the snapshots. So what I mean by the snapshots, if we go to the perspective mode is one of the unique features in Asta Powerproject, where we can go actually into the model and we are able to see or select any object. So once I'm in perspective mode, I would like to get the snapshots. So let's say we'll have a snapshot. This is the interior 01. Then I would like to go out and get the exterior information. I'll get the snapshot. I'll save another snapshot. 01. So then I'll let me reset my camera. Okay, so snapshots are actually not as an image. However, you are also able to save the image and send to the particular disciplinary. But the snapshot actually save the position of the camera from where you are able to continue work. So you want to work from this side. So in order to have a quick navigation, we use snapshots. So once I reset, okay. As I said previously, we are able to save the image. So the image can be saved as a different format, JPEG, for instance, or even the GIF or even the BMP. Okay, so this time I will not be selecting saving any image. Okay, we have a category types, like we have some information about our IFC model. The properties bar, where we are able to see information about our model. So let's say I'll select my slab. We are able to see that this is the building element and it has an ID. It has the IFC entity as the IFC slab. It's identified, so we can use the object types. It's the metal panel, predefined tab, the roof, and so on. This property information actually are loaded on those softwares where you are actually preparing your module. It can be Revit, AutoCAD, and so on. So if, for instance, I'll go to the door, we are able to see the object type and size, the materials as well. The material, so it's the frame glass door, the location that it's located in the level 1, and the IFC entity, the door type, it's the door type. Okay, if I'll go to the category, we have in this case, we have two options, which is the type and the location. However, if you have a more, let's say, complex model, which I'll show you one more example later on, we're able to see that we'll have a lot of levels, a lot of floors. So I can select some levels. So I don't want to see the level 1 or entity or level 2, for instance. So it removes all the elements, all the objects from the certain level. In this case, beside that, for instance, if I would like to see all the building elements or others, the structural elements, the facilities. So as you can see, we have the facilities. So this option gives us opportunity to see or to filter our objects. Okay. Okay, so now our main topic, which I would like to create a schedule from it. So first of all, we have to go to the selection mode, and what we can do in this case, let me just make it more visual, and this one is more closer. Okay. So what we can do in this case is We have several options. We can drag and drop. So let's say I would like to drag and drop my door. So as you can see right now, I have just drag and dropped. So it gives automatically the name. It takes from the IFC model, the standard duration, go, and the standard finish and end date. So in this case, let me just plug it in here. So we'll be able to see, to have a more visual impact. Okay. All right. Then I would like to have it another door. Same way we drag and drop. So right now you can see that this is also the double glass with a different ID. See? Also, what else I would like to get? I would like to get this slab. Just a second. I would like to get my slab. Once I go to selection mode and drop it, it has no name, but we can give it as a roof, for instance. So this is all editable. If you don't like to see this, so we can remove it and we can give it a level 2, this door. And this door is in level 1. Okay. The simple thing what we can do is we are able to link them, which is Asta Powerproject provides them the linking option, so we can link them in standard, and we are able to reschedule it. So right now it's rescheduled. However, one of the good thing is we have the tracking options, like we have a track selection option. So if I'll click here, it automatically track the selected task. So if I'll go here, we're able to see it, that this is this door. Also, we are able to open the switch on or switch off the move camera. This move camera options allows us in order to track our and move our camera to the object which we are actually working on. This helps when we have a lot of activities and we have a complex structural design and IC module. Same way as we can see, we are able to go to the roof. So right now we are able to see the roof. Okay, this is one of the options. Besides that, okay, where is my schedule? Let me. Besides that, what we can do is we can automatically, for instance, we can create our task on our Gantt chart. So let's say I'll create several tasks here. And I can assign this task. I can say this is a wall first. And I can assign this task to the object. So if I'll right now select this task, it is automatically showing me that this task is right now is on this on my wall. It actually has a wall. Okay. Okay. Great. So that was the first option, how we can create our tasks, getting the information from the IFC model and linking to our Gantt chart to our actually schedule. Another option is we can get it in automatic way with IFC search. So let me first delete all these activities, don't need them, and I'll use the selection bar, so I don't need this one. I will delete it. So what we can do in order to make it in an automatic way, I have to go to my library. On the library part, I have here my IFC, but the IFC, let me add it first. Okay. So what we can see, let me just first of all remove it. What we can see here is we have IFC model properties. as well. The contest, we have a one model which we have loaded. The product search, this is what we'll be using in the product selection. So if I'll go to the product search and I would like to create, for instance, walls, right? Walls, then the or doors. I'd like to select them and convert them to the folder, and as well as this one. So I will do the walls level 1 walls, then another is level 2 walls. So I'd like to right now get the information about the walls which are on the level 1. So if I'll go to the properties, we have a search criteria. We have to define our criteria, which we at Asta Powerproject will be getting the information from the IFC model and dropping it directly to our schedule. First of all, what I'm looking for is I want IFC entity name with the value of the IFC wall. Then another thing is I need the location. So I would like to show them in the level 1. In this case, I'll go and select the level 1. If I'll close it, the same, let me do it for the IFC entity, the wall, but in the level 2 this time. Okay, I need location. In this case, we'll use the level 2. Okay. Wait a second. Yes, level 2. The same we'll go and do for the doors. Level 1 door and the level 2 door. We set up the search criteria the same. What we need is we are taking the IFC entity and the type, in this case not walls, but of course the door type, or yes, let's say we'll take the door type. Then we'll add another, which is location, and in this case I want to see the first level. Okay, the criteria can be the same. IFC entity with the value as a wall. Now there is a location, and in this case I want to see level 2. But first let me check one thing. It is not door type, but IFC entity. It can be entity, and the model is a IFC door. Okay. Alright, now I have created. If you go to our main view, right now we are able to see that we have created some search bars where is the doors and walls. I'll load my IFC model, and what I can do it with one click, I can create my activities. If I'll select them all and I'll create the task. Right now these tasks are created. Let me put this on here. Right now these tasks are created. So by this selecting each, we are able to see that it's already synchronized. So this is level 1 doors, or for instance level 2 doors and the walls. What I can do, I can as well link them and reschedule them and so on. So right now these are automatically has been assigned to our model. So all the tasks are right now assigned. So let me show you completed the project, and I'll show you the timeline functionalities. So in this case I'll just close this. I don't want to save it. I'll open my new Asta Powerproject, and I'll open my project. So for those who are aware about Asta Powerproject, we can see that we have our task here. We have entered our progress, so we have the baseline information. These are all linked with each other. So the same, what we have done here is we have our search, we have our level, slab, all information. What I have to do is, again, I have to load my IFC model. I'll use again my local IFC and I'll select this model, go to BIM format, and I'm loading right now my model. So once our model is loaded, I'll show you the timeline operations, what we can do in our timeline. Okay, now I would like to track my activities in the bar. So what we'll do in this case, I will start my build list. So we can use our track and we can see that right now which activity is performing. So our track will be moving and our chart as well. If you pay attention, we can see here, I would like to remove this move camera, know how our building going on. Okay. Okay, now we have finished our project. Besides the time simulation, we can use, for instance, okay, it's in December, so I would like to see what is in November, for instance, November 10th. What will be the status? Okay, so we can see that this is our status, or let's say we'll go more to October, and let's say 13th of October, we can see that this is what is our timeline, and it shows us the task in our Asta Powerproject in the Gantt chart. On the time settings, let me finish that. On the time setting, we have several options, such as we are able to give the timeline interval or the simulation duration. Besides that, we can compare the live project data with the baseline difference. So I'll show you what we can do in this case. I'll run my simulation once again. Okay, so I'll stop it and I'll run again. So the red activity, so let me pause it, and we can see that the red activities is delay activities. So in our 3D model, we are able to see the delay activities as well. So let our timeline finish. Do you have any questions until now? Okay. So this is just introduction to the Asta Powerproject BIM. So what else we can say? I wanted to say also we can save it, for instance, not only Asta Powerproject file, but we can save it as a Primavera and an Excel file, as well as we are able to see as a Microsoft XML format as well. So with several formats are available to save them as well. We can open the Asta Powerproject gives the availability as to open the Primavera file or the MS Project file. So, okay, Mr. Talat Mahmoud asked me the question, what about the linear project? Can we run the same module? Well, if you have the model of the linear project, we can do it as well, no problem. So if you would like us to give the demonstration with the linear project, no problem, we can give it, just give us the model and we'll be able to synchronize it. Okay. All right, so I'll go for the next part of my presentation, which are where we have the new functionalities. So the new upcoming version of Asta Powerproject BIM will have several improvements. What we'd like to say is we can import and overlay multiple IFC models. So in this case, we'll have my case we're able to import only one IFC model. However, in this case, we can use the different IFC models as well as, for instance, revision parts. We'll be able to edit the IFC product properties. So for instance, you don't like the name what you have here and you would like to use just this is a tree. So it is also possible. We can add the custom properties. We're able to split the options. So the splitting options are various splitting options. Let me show you what I mean by the splitting options in my model. So if I'll go to selection, I'll take my roof, I can split the product. So the splitting options, you can see right now my slab selected. I'm able to split it in a different directions. If you would like, we can split the numbers. I would like to enter the, let's say 2. Okay. Not 0.1 but 2, and I can preview. So right now my slab is split into the 2. Or we can use, for instance, 2 direction, and I would like to enter here 4. So if I'll preview it, now you are able to see that my model is split into the different number of cuts. So we can cut it. Okay. So here in this case, the new availability, we can split it as at intersections, or we can use the manual splitting. However you would like to split, it's also possible. The improve the model revision and handling, so we are able to use the different revisions, so we can manage the revisions as well here. So we are able to select the all visible product. These options were not available in the current version, but it will be available in the upcoming new version. By the way, the upcoming new version will be released for UK users in December this month. However, for international users, it will be in the January the next year. So it will be January 2016. Besides that, we will have a possibility to compare two 3D windows and to see it on our timeline on model comparison. So we can see we have 2 models to be able to see it and compare them with the current with the actual. So the timeline improvements, we can undock the timeline for those who are we had some requests, those who would like to undock the timeline control panel. It's also possible. The improvements, we can highlight the critical path when it's running animation, so it is also possible. We can highlight the critical path. We are also able to play back only the items in the view, so we can use, for instance, it can be all tasks, a current project, current chart, or the current view. We can also put it. We are able to create the fly-through, so if you will pay attention on this video, we can create the fly-through camera, so it will be circling around our project while it's simulating. Or we can put from the start to the certain task. Okay. Besides that, we had requests that we would like to export the video files. So now it will be possible. We can export our simulation, and later on you will be able to send it to the appropriate party. So if you can see on this video, we have the plan and the actual. Okay. So now we can save it as a video file and we can export it. Well, thank you very much for your time, for dedicating your time. Besides that, if you are right now in Qatar, we are having a conference in Doha. So if you have, together with CMCS Qatar, who is our local representative and partner, we will have on 8th of December, we'll have a conference which are dedicated to Linear project and Asta Powerproject BIM as well. For the more information, you are always able to contact us and we'll provide you more information. The recording of this video will be also sent to you. Thank you very much and have a good day.